What's up, everybody? We have made it to Friday. Congratulations. I hope that you guys have learned so much about your nutrition this week and you have already made all kinds of adjustments and changes to help you stay in line with your calories and your protein. I'm hearing every day that you guys are, for the most part, getting closer and closer, but I would love to hear some feedback to see what sorts of adjustments you have made to get closer to your numbers and what have you learned so far in just 1 week. And remember that next week is going to be even easier now that you know what to expect, and taking the adjustments that you've made this week and putting them into next week, and then every week is just going to get a little bit better. You'll find little adjustments as you go. So we're heading into the weekend, right? And if I had $1 for every time somebody is like, I crush it during the week, and then here comes the weekend and it goes to hell in a handbasket. Well, congratulations, you're in good company. And I am going to talk a little bit today about how you can make your weekends a little bit easier to not throw it all in the trash can, right? You worked so hard this week and you don't have to deprive yourself this weekend. You're gonna continue for the rest of your life, right? There's gonna be food at all the events, and there's gonna be food on the weekends, and there's gonna be, you're gonna wanna unplug, you're gonna wanna hit, a girls' night or whatever. So let's figure out how to do that for life so that you can continue to get results along the way. So first thing I wanna talk about is saving up, right? So let's pretend that you have a goal to hit 1,500 calories, right? So 1,500 calories and 100 grams of protein, that's your goal for the day. So if that's your goal for the day, then we're gonna want to try to keep those calories, eat very low calorie foods, things like fish, chicken, egg whites, turkey. Those are gonna be low calorie and high protein foods to keep your calories low and keep your protein up. So, and then having those things with veggies and such. So when you go out, if you're going out to dinner, if you're going out to an event, I recommend saving somewhere between 700 to 1,200 calories so that you can kind of be a little bit like free, right? I wouldn't expect you, and I personally do not track when I go out, because whatever happens is what happens, right? There's no guilt behind it. You're just going to enjoy it and then get over it, right? You're right back on track the next day. So some examples right off the bat, I wrote some ideas down for you to maybe make your day a little bit easier as you're making your choices, or maybe introducing you to some things that you don't know exist. So first and foremost is I've talked a lot about an egg white bowl, right? So that's a cup of egg whites, 3 turkey sausages, Banquet makes a great brand, and a little bit of like a tablespoon of cheese and some everything but the bagel seasoning. You're looking at, I wrote it down, where is it? You're looking at about 280 calories and 40 grams of protein. So that's a really, really excellent trade-off. It's going to keep you full, right? Because you get the 40 grams of protein and it's a very low calorie. So you're in good shape right from the get-go, right? So those things, that particular bowl can be made ahead of time. That is one thing that I have made like 4 days in advance, reheated it, and it's perfectly fine. So if you have the flexibility in your schedule where you can make that the morning of, that's great as well. But if you don't, that is an option. Another great option is whether it's a tuna packet or tuna can, whatever, and some Quest chips. I personally love the ranch Quest chips, and I like to smash them up and put them in my tuna, and then I just eat it like that because it's a little bit of crunch. It's great. You can throw some greens in there, some cucumbers, whatever. Remember, we don't track veggies. Nobody cares. Nobody is gaining body fat from eating too many cucumbers and broccoli. So tuna and Quest chips, if you have those two things together, you're looking at 210 calories and 36 grams of protein, which again, excellent trade-off for low calorie, high protein, keeps you full longer, and keeps you on track to have some more flexibility when you go out. And another great thing, Built bars. I've talked about those. There's all kinds of different protein bars out there. But what we want to be careful of is the protein bars that are high in calorie and not so great of a trade-off in your protein in grams. So Built bars, most of them are between 140 to 160 calories and about 17 to 20 grams of protein. So that's a good trade-off for a protein bar. Personally, that's how I kickstart my morning. It gives me a little bit of fuel to get through the morning before I have my actual meal. Oats overnight, if that is something you haven't dabbled in, gosh, those are lovely. There's a few different ways you can go about it. They do have like a subscription base where it's cheaper, right? You can order online, and they have a million different flavors, like unbelievable flavors. I've never had a gross one. They are so tasty. And the ones on the subscription base that you get online are somewhere like, they're like 280 calories, and you get like between 20 to 25 grams of protein in it, because it has some whey protein in it, which is great. You can mix it with almond milk, but if I wouldn't, because it mixes fine with water. You make it the night before, you put it in the fridge, wake up the next morning, send it, you get 20 grams of protein, between 250 to 280 calories, somewhere around there. So a good trade-off. Starting your morning off with a bang. So if you're someone that's on the go. So there's the subscription base, but they also have like a ready to go option, which those are somewhere around like 220 to 230 calories and 15 grams of protein. So you just fill it up with water, shake it up, put it in the fridge, next day, have it. It's a good thing to have if you train in the morning. That's a good idea, or a good option to have on your way to training, because it's going to give you good carbs, right? So it's giving you the energy and the fuel you need to get a good workout, and it's kicking you off with about 15 grams of protein, which is spot on. Other options, Greek yogurts, right? There's tons of different brands out there. I think Oikos is a great one. There's Oikos 000, and there's Oikos Pro. Oikos Pro has between 20 and 25 grams per little cup, and that Oikos 000 has like between 15 and 20 grams. So good calorie to protein ratio there, low calorie, keeps you full. So a good option if you're trying to save up calories and also hit your protein before going out. Cottage cheese and veggies. Cottage cheese, if you put it on everything, mix it in everything, it's amazing. You can hide that kind of easy. And yeah, it's a good protein source, low calorie. Here's a really good one. Applegate turkey slices. They have Applegate is the brand, okay? Turkey slices. They have chicken slices. They also have ham. Your ham is going to be higher in calories because it has more fat in it. But your chicken and your turkey Applegate slices, bomb, okay? I think it's like 50 calories and 11 grams of protein for 3 slices of the chicken one, and then 2 slices of the turkey one is 60 calories and 11 grams of protein. So again, great trade-off there. You can turn that into a wrap, right? So again, you're trying to save up, you're going out, you want to make sure that you are staying low calorie and hitting your protein before going to an event or whatever. So if you were to have we'll call it a turkey wrap, okay? So you have a carb balance, Mission carb balance wraps. Those are really, that's just like a good brand that has low calories and has some protein in it. So I like those ones. There's 70 calories in a wrap and I think 10 grams of protein, or I think there's 10 grams of protein. So you throw some turkey on there. You throw some greens, some cucumbers, whatever in there. Mustard, 0 calories. Pickles, have a nice crunch. There's, again, 0 calories. Roll that sucker up. Throw some Quest chips on the side if you want to, whatever, or just the wrap and some more greens. You got 130 calories and 22 grams of protein. That's with the turkey, with the wrap. 130 calories, 22 grams of protein. That is an excellent trade-off for something you might feel like you shouldn't be having. Right? Wraps are bad. No, who said? Right? You just flex them as you need to make them fit in your plan. And then finally I have the written down the Chobani drinkable Greek yogurts. There's a few different options out there. There's like a smaller one that's 170 calories and 20 grams of protein, and there's a bigger one that's 230 calories and 30 grams of protein. Both of those are an excellent trade-off for your calories to protein. So all that to say, if we learn how to save up right before going out to these events, you'll feel a little bit more guilt-free. And of course, when you go out, if you're feeling like, man, I've been feeling really good, like I don't want to throw it all away when I go out, you can still make good choices, right? If you focus on having a protein source on your plate and filling it up with all the veggies in the world, and you can pass up the French fries or whatever, but you don't feel like you have to, right? If you are like on track 90% of the time, if we pretend like you're eating 3 meals a day, but you're probably eating like 4, right? So we'll say 28 meals in a week, right? 28 meals, that's 4 meals a day. If 3 of those meals are off track, do you think that you're not going to get results? because you are going to be just fine, right? If you were going over your calories every day, yes, that's going to hurt you. If you're